Hello, good morning, and welcome once again. I've come to you this morning at this dawn. In accordance with the cherished customs of our fathers, I've come to you for a homely chat. Those of you who have not had the opportunity to subscribe to my channel, this is a great opportunity to subscribe to my channel, hit on the notification bell, and you can follow me. Then anytime I make a video, it will pop up on your phone so that you can have a look at it. Because from time to time, I come with nuggets of truth. And today, we are going to look at different forms of dirt and dust that can be used in our various spiritual works. We'll start by looking at the debt that you can get from a bank. You know, understand? When they sweep the bank, you can collect that debt, or you speak to the cleaners of the bank to get you debt from the banking hall. You know, because of the vibration that or energy that exists in the bank, the money energy is infused in the debt, and you can use them in your spiritual work. Uh, One way of using this debt is that you get your own picture. When you want your money to stay in your home, you get a full picture of yourself. Burn it to ashes, then add the following powdered herbs, which is bay, cinnamon, nutmeg, and then you dig the four corners of your house, and then you bury the you mix it well in the name of the Trinity, and then dig in the four corners of your house and bury the debt there to ensure a constant flow of money to you. So this is how you can use the debt. Howbeit, you can also add it to your candle setup. You can use that dust that you have mixed for your candle setup. The next debt that we are going to look at is the church debt, debt from the church premises. Normally, this one is used for blessing, and then for protection and the healing work. And then it's also used for repairing of broken friendship, used for, I mean, debt that has been collected from the church. That one too, you can pick church from the dust from the church, debt from the church ground, and then if you want to use it for healing of a relationship, what you do is that you pick the debt, you add crossroad, and then bay leaf powder from the bay leaf. You mix them in the name of the Trinity, and then you add it to your candle setup. Normally, because I do a lot of candle burning, mostly I add them to my. But there are various ways that you can use it. You need to just think it up, and because these things contain the energy of the places where they are picked, then you can get court debt. Court debt. I mean, debt that has been picked from the court debt. If you are doing a court case, or you have a court case and you want to have the upper hand or to win the court case, you can pick debt from the court, the debt from the crossroad, and then you add powder from the High John the Conqueror. You can add this to your candle setup by blessing it in the name of the Trinity. The name of the Trinity. Then we come to the crossroad itself. The crossroad has been, debt has always been collected from the crossroad for various kind of work, but mostly it is used for works that involves opening and closing roads. Opening and closing roads, and this is usually used in our spiritual works that involve opening and closing. That is, you pick debt from the crossroad and you can use them in your spiritual work or your conjure work, as is usually referred to. And then debt from the fighting dogs yard. That is, or a place when you see dogs fighting in a place, the place that they fought, you can go pick some of the soil or dirt from the place, and use it in your spiritual work. Mostly, this one is used for works that involve confusion, destruction, and then fighting. Because you see, the energy that is displayed there during the course of the fighting is infused in the dirt there, so you can collect that soil and then use it by blessing it in the name of Trinity. Use it in works that involve confusion, fighting, or destruction. Then we have the fire ant hill. The fire ant dirt. Yes, you go to the fire ant hill, you pick some of the dirt from the place. And this one is also usually used for drawing, removal, and heating up spells. Drawing, removal, and heating up spells. Yes, because you see, the ant hill has also got a sort of fairy energy there. I know of rituals where people collect some of the sand for love rituals. They are, or love remainings are left at this ant hill because of its fairy nature. Yes, so this is how the ant hill is also, that's death from the ant hill. Then the graveyard, another one of the popular place where death is collected. And death from the graveyard is usually used for blessing work, and then it's also used for cursing. It's cursing. But I would advise that if you want to go and pick death from the graveyard, you must do it properly, because there is a method by which you need to pay the spirits before collecting the yard. And your way of entry, normally with us, what we do is, we before you get into the graveyard, you knock, because you are going to somebody's territory. Yes, you knock 3 times, then you drop some coins, and then you enter, petition or ask permission to collect the soil. And don't collect soil near to people's grave. Some people prefer that method, but I do not, because you don't know if the person is a stranger, the effect that soil will give you. So collect it from a neutral place. That's how I do mine. After I've paid the spirits with the coins. And in coming out of the graveyard, what we do is that instead of you coming, we come backwards. This is a form of confusing the spirits there not to follow you. And then when you get home, you get some salt water and some herbs, cleansing herbs. Usually in Ghana, we use susumansa. Susumansa has the power to drive up spirits. So that is what we do. Then gunpowder is also used. Gunpowder, technically, they are not dead. Technically, they are not dead, but they are also used in blockbuster powders. And when you want to use the gunpowder in blockbuster powders, we need the crossroad, dead from the crossroad, the gunpowder itself, angelical root, and then powder from a wood that has been struck by a tender. You get some wood that has been struck, you make it into a powder form. And then you bless these in the name of the Trinity and use it in your candle setup. There are other ways you can think of deploying or using these dates. Then we have the hospital. Yes. Death from the hospital is usually used for healing work. And you add a bit of crossroad, and then the church death from the crossroad, and the church death, also bless it in the name of the Trinity, and then use it in your candle setup, or use it according to what you are doing. If you are doing a healing work, because you can use them. Because then we have death from the police station. This is good for those who are always having problems with the law. Those who are having problems with the law. and it's a sort of protection. This thing, you need to add High John the Conqueror route to the debt that you have picked from the police station. Yes, and then you add High John the Conqueror route to it. You make the powder, bless it in the name of the Trinity, and then you can add it to your what do you call it? Your candle setup. There was an instance I was doing a protection against that, and I added it to some of the seals and then binded it for a driver who was always having problems with the law. Yes, it's a sort of protection against the law because the soil has got the energy of the police station. Then the railroad tracker. I mean, you go to the railroad tracing and then you pick dirt from the railroad. And this is usually to draw or to send away. You see, so it is a two-way affair. You can use it to draw or to send away. What you do is that you add crossroad dirt, and then red pepper powder to it. And this is also blessed in the name of the Trinity and used for drawing and then sending away of items. Then we have the red brick dust. Red brick dust is dust gotten from the red brick, and usually is broken and then made in a powdered form. It's used for protection works, and then you add some of the healing, some of the protection herbs that help in protecting. You add it to the red brick powder. This is either sprinkled in front of your house or is used in exorcising negative spirits in the home by mopping, adding it to mop water and then using it to mop the house to drive away uninvited entities from the house. It could also be used in a sprinkler or used in a candle setup. But always remember to have blessed it in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Then we have the termite debt. The termite debt is used for revenging and then to tear down an enemy's power. And then yes, it is used for revenge and then to tear down an enemy's power. And this, where you need a termite debt from the termite. Then you need debt from a stop sign. You see, when you go and there is a stop sign on the road, you pick the dirt around it, and then you add red pepper and then gunpowder. And this dirt is also blessed in the name of the Father, Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and is used in works that involve revenge and the tearing down of the enemy's power. Then we have saltpeter. Saltpeter is used for uncross